What's going on, everyone? So I saw something in the news today, our local news. As many of you know, I am from Canada, specifically Western British Columbia. I live on Vancouver Island, but I am originally from the Lower Mainland, which is the Vancouver area of British Columbia. Well, Canada done and made a oopsie with the United States, and well, we done messed up, and we've given President Trump an opportunity to take back a portion of Canada below the 49th parallel. So it's actually pretty interesting seeing this unfold the way that it did, and I'll give you a little bit of breakdown of what happened. So back in mid-January, the city of Delta Police and city engineers erected a chain link fence along the western side of Point Roberts, Washington, right near English Bluff Road, to prevent individuals from inadvertently crossing the Canadian and US border. As many of you may or may not know, the border between Canada and the US is open. We don't have any obstructions. We actually have a treaty between the US and Canada that actually impedes anything from blocking our borders, which is why you haven't seen a border wall erected. So basically, what happened was the city of Delta inadvertently broke international law, or the Treaty of Ghent of 1814. And how this was done was it was likely violated by the fence installation. The treaty, which ended the War of 1812 between Britain, including Canada, and the United States, including provisions ensuring that the border remains unobstructed. Specifically, the 1818 Convention and later agreements, such as the 1925 International Boundary Treaty, reinforce that no structures or impediments should be placed within 10 feet or 3.05 meters if you're in Canada of the Canada-US border unless jointly approved. By erecting the fence so close to the border without coordination with the US authorities, Delta officials may have breached these agreements, prompting the quick removal of the structure. So as of January 30th, 2025, the fence was taken down just before noon, I believe it was. So why did this happen? So the fence went up because back in 2023, there was a senior on the Tsawwassen side, or the Delta side, of the Canadian border with dementia or Alzheimer's that wandered over the border and perished a few days later. I have a video from CBC who did an interview with a cosplaying lawyer, and he is a lawyer, but it looks like he's cosplaying in the video. So why don't we go ahead and give that a watch together.
On the Delta-US border, which police say was needed to stop people from inadvertently crossing between here and America. But now the International Boundary Commission is investigating it, with one Washington-based immigration lawyer saying the fence violates an over 200-year-old treaty between the two countries. CBC's Jessica Chung is at this for us. Jess, wow, interesting. What can you tell us about this development?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm right here in Delta. Behind me, you can see the chain link fence that was put up last week that goes along the U.S.-Canada border. And yes, last week we came to see it. It was put up by Delta Police and the city's engineering team. They put up this fence saying that it was about public safety after a case in 2023 where a Tsawwassen man inadvertently crossed the border and then was found dead days later in Point Roberts. And so now they put up this fence saying that they want to keep, residents safe and they want to prevent similar deaths in the future. But as you said, now the fence is being investigated by the International Border Commission for possibly violating a 2-century-old agreement with the states. And for more on this, we have Len Saunders with us, a U.S. immigration lawyer. Okay, Len, let's break this down. Does this fence actually violate a treaty with the U.S.?
Okay, so this is why I made the cosplaying reference. This jacket looks like it's straight out of Parliament from the 1800s in Europe. I kind of love it. Anyways.
Absolutely, and the ironic part is, if you look at where the fence is, it's within a foot of a marker that says no structures can be constructed within 10 feet or 3 meters of the border. So whoever put up this fence was obviously now reading this placard, which is almost right next to the fence. It's so ironic what the city of Delta did.
Yeah, for sure. And can you tell me more about this treaty that this fence may be violating?
So the Treaty of Ghent was established in the early 1800s, and it said that there was supposed to be no structures within 10 feet of either side of the 49th parallel. And if either Canada or the US violated the treaty, then the actual borders would revert back to the pre-treaty territory. So right now, if the president, Trudeau, takes the letter of the law from the Treaty of Ghent, the United States could get part of southern Ontario and Quebec back into the United States, which is just unbelievable if he actually tries to exercise that right.
Yeah, absolutely. And, during this time where President Trump is saying that he wants to make Canada the 51st state, is there legs to kind of making some of that happen with this happening with the fence?
Well, I don't think he'll do that, but who knows, right? If he wants to go by the letter of the law, the Canadian government, directly through the municipality of Delta, has violated the Treaty of Ghent. And if Trump gets word of this, I don't know if his PR team at the White House has seen the media coverage in Western Canada with regards to this fence, he could legally take back part of Canada into the United States. He doesn't have to have Canada become the 51st state. He could take part of southern Ontario and Quebec and bring that back into the United States through the treaty.
And in your experience with the commission, is there any precedence in terms of them acting on stuff like this?
Oh, absolutely. When I first moved to Blaine to practice immigration law over 20 years ago, there was a huge incident with a homeowner in Blaine whose backyard was on Zero Avenue and had put up a small retaining wall, and the commission sued that homeowner to have it taken down. It was all over the news, went to Western District Court down in Seattle. So for me, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with this fence. Is the municipality going to take it down? Are they going to challenge the treaty? I think it's not worth the aggravation. I think the city should take it down immediately. I'm actually quite shocked it hasn't been taken down yet.
For sure. And so the council is going to be putting forth a motion on Monday. They're thinking that it is going to be taken down ASAP. That's what they're thinking. If it was taken down, is the commission still going to kind of go forward with the investigation if it's taken down next week?
I'm not a big expert on the commission, but I'm assuming they're probably going to give a warning to the city of Delta and say, don't do this again. It's shocking that, the city of Delta should know this, right? They're right next to an international border. Someone on city council or in public works should know that you can't put up a fence on the 49th parallel.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much for that, Len. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so city council, councilors and the mayor actually did say that they are going to be putting a motion forward on Monday to get this fence taken down if it goes through, which the mayor says he is expected that the vote is going to go unanimously, if not by a big majority. The fence will be taken down ASAP. He also said that he is going to be in touch with the commission to tell them, notify them that they're going to take the fence down, and also tell them that the mayor and councilors did not know about the fence being put up before it went up, and that'll be part of that investigation there. But yeah, that's really the latest there. And so we'll be taking a look at what happens in council on Monday to see what they do with the fence beneath.
Jess, this is just so interesting. I never thought that fence could relate to so much history and have so many potential consequences. Well, thank you so much for being there, for bringing us that story. That, again, is Jessica Chung at the U.S. border in Delta.
All right, so as the barrister there was saying, this has the potential to cause some real issues for Canada should Trump decide to, make a stink about what happened. If you recall back to the lawyer speaking, he did mention something about Zero Avenue, which actually borders with Langley, British Columbia. And that's a very long stretch of unguarded territory between the two countries that actually has a lot of criminal history that's pretty interesting. And I've actually thought about doing a video on that in the past, but yeah, quite a bit of research would go into that. But anyways, I just wanted to share that neat piece of information with everyone. It's pretty interesting, a little worrisome, we'll have to keep watch of the news and see what happens. Right now, as many of you know, the news feed is being inundated with the airplane accident that happened at Reagan International in Washington, D.C., where 67 people perished in the crash there. So my heart goes out to the families and those affected. And yeah, that's absolute tragedy there. So we'll have to see what comes out of the investigation in the coming months. Anyways, yeah, different video for me, but yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Take it easy, guys. If you liked it, give a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.